In the cruel silence of the desert, time doesn't move forward. It buries itself, and sometimes it takes people with it. In May of 2014, Clara Jensen, a strong, resilient 38-year-old rancher, rode off into the Sonoran Desert to move her cattle. She waved to her father one last time, then vanished. No body, no wreckage. No last signal. Just the wind, and a mystery that would paralyze a town. 9 years later, miles from where she disappeared, an oil crew cracked open the desert floor and struck something that should never have been there. A cold echo from the past, wrapped in rust and silence. Interior. Clara's kitchen, early morning. Coffee steamed in her chipped porcelain mug. Her leather gloves sat on the table. Clara wasn't the type to run. Not from storms, not from cattle, not from life. Her routines were precise. She left her father's ranch at 6:41 a.m. sharp, leading a group of 17 cattle along a path she'd crossed dozens of times. But just 2 hours into her journey, something changed. A neighbor later reported hearing an unfamiliar sound echo through the canyon, like metal grinding, followed by barking, then silence. That same day, her father found the cattle scattered and confused. The fence near mile marker 36 was down. Clara, her horse, and both dogs were gone. 2 days later, the dogs came home, muzzled with sand, paws raw, and still no Clara. Exterior dusty trail, volunteers sweeping the area. Authorities launched one of the most extensive desert searches in Arizona's history. Helicopters scanned ravines. Volunteers hiked in blistering heat. Psychics were even brought in. Every effort led to one conclusion. Nothing. No blood, no gear, not even hoof prints past a certain point, as if Clara and her horse had simply evaporated. Locals began spinning stories. Some said she walked into a vortex. Others believed it was a cartel hit or an animal attack. But one theory lingered. Someone knew those trails better than Clara did. In Interior Sheriff's Office years later, the name Harvey Quell kept appearing in whispers. A reclusive survivalist, he owned land near the area in the late 90s. He'd once been arrested for building unlicensed bunkers and stockpiling supplies. When authorities tried to investigate, Harvey vanished without a trace. No ID, no forwarding address. And in 2014, when Clara vanished, Harvey would have been in his mid-60s if he was still alive. Could he have returned? Was Clara in the wrong place at the wrong time? Theories swirled, but without a body, there was nothing to prove, only rumors, silence, and the slow decay of hope. Exterior. Oil drilling site, July 2023. The drilling was routine. The land had been idle for decades. At 11:52 a.m., the bit struck metal, a solid clang beneath 16 feet of earth. They expected an old vehicle or well covering. What they unearthed was a sealed metal hatch, bolted shut from the outside. No markings, no hinges visible above ground, just one circular handle, bent and rusted. They called in the sheriff. Hours later, they opened it. And what they found was something out of a nightmare. A narrow tunnel dropped down into a chamber no wider than a bedroom. Inside, a broken lantern. A water canister, long dried. A journal with burned edges. And skeletal remains curled against the back wall. Beside the body, fragments of cloth matching Clara's last known outfit, and beneath her, a belt buckle with her initials CJ. But it wasn't just her bones that chilled investigators. It was the walls. Scratched, deep, desperate. Fingernail marks, dozens of them, as if she tried, until her final breath, to claw her way out. And still, no entry point above. The only way in or out had been sealed from the outside. Someone had buried her alive. Forensic analysts were able to extract pages from the burned journal. Most were illegible, but one final entry stood out. He said no one would find me here, that no one ever cared anyway. But I know my dad's looking. I know the dogs tried. I hear scratching sometimes. Or is that me? I don't know anymore. The light's gone. The handwriting was trembling. Some experts believe she may have lived days inside that chamber before finally succumbing. With the discovery, authorities reopened the investigation. A hidden door on Harvey Quell's old property led to underground passageways, most caved in, but one tunnel seemed to angle toward the chamber. Could he have built a maze beneath the desert? And then, a final twist. A single bone, human but not Clara's, was found near the hatch. It didn't match any known records. Was it Harvey? Was it someone else? Had Clara not been the first? The desert had given up a secret, but not the whole story. Dale Jensen received his daughter's remains in a wooden box, wrapped in cloth. For 9 years he waited for truth. What he got instead was horror. Sometimes answers hurt more than the questions. And some doors, once opened, leave you haunted forever. Absolutely. Here's the further extended version.
Building upon the last draft, this adds another black 3,000 characters in quotes, increasing emotional depth, mystery, and layered suspense, while continuing in a cinematic, third-person style, perfect for a documentary-style video like Nest Stories.
In Forensic Lab, DNA analysts study samples. The bone fragment found near Clara's chamber, small, brittle, initially went unnoticed. But when catalogued, it was discovered to be a left femur fragment, null and not consistent with Clara's skeletal frame. The question now shifted. Was Clara alone when she died? Or was this place used before? DNA testing confirmed it belonged to a young adult male, high age between 25-35. No match was found in missing persons databases, and that's when investigators looked deeper and found a hidden compartment buried beneath the chamber floor. Inside were 3 objects: a worn leather journal, a Polaroid photograph burned at the edges, and a ring engraved with the initials J.A. The photo was nearly unrecognizable, but what could be made out was chilling. A man bound, gagged in the same chamber. If the photo was real, Clara wasn't the first. End. Abandoned trailer. Evidence boards. Scrawled walls. Authorities returned to Harvey Quell's abandoned trailer. Behind the deteriorating drywall, they uncovered a false panel. Inside, hundreds of pages of writings, torn notebooks, maps, schematics. It was a manifesto of paranoia. Quell wrote of the cleansing, of tests of will, and of purifying the desert through isolation. His words were obsessive, rambling, yet meticulous. One page had a list: names, dates, GPS coordinates. Some names were scratched out, some weren't. And next to the name, Clara Jensen, was a single word, underlined 3 times. Strong. This was no accident. No random disappearance. Clara was chosen. Local historians began investigating the coordinates Harvey left behind. What they found changed the understanding of the region. 6 old cases scattered across 30 years, all missing persons from towns bordering the desert. A traveling preacher, a young couple from Nevada, a teenage hitchhiker, a mechanic last seen refueling off Route 191. All gone. All within walking distance of the hatch. Did Harvey abduct these people? Was he testing them, punishing them, watching them? And more disturbingly, was he working alone? Interior, FBI field office, murder board, and satellite maps. As the dots connected, investigators saw something terrifying. Harvey's known bunkers, his abandoned tunnels, and the disappearance sites all formed a strange geometric pattern. A pentagon, 5 points of vanishing, and Clara was at its center. A criminal profiler suggested the pattern was not incidental, it was ritualistic. Quell wasn't merely hiding. He may have been building something, a symbol, a system, a message, or a game. And if he had help, they might still be out there. Then, a final twist. When reviewing archival search footage from 2014, a now retired park ranger stepped forward with a forgotten detail. A day after Clara disappeared, a short-range distress signal was picked up near the canyon's edge, just once, for 14 seconds. At the time, it was dismissed as a false alarm, but the coordinates? Less than 300 meters from the chamber. She tried. Somehow, she tried to reach out, and the signal was ignored. That revelation devastated Clara's father, because that meant, if they'd searched just 1 more mile west, they might have saved her. Exterior Desert Ridge, a small memorial built into the rock. Today, there's a plaque on the ridge. In memory of Clara Jensen. The desert held you, but you never disappeared from our hearts. But beneath it, etched into stone, are 5 other names, the forgotten ones, the ones who vanished without stories. Clara's case is now officially closed, but the desert still whispers, and the ground may still hold more secrets. The oil company pulled out of the region. The hatch was resealed, but the scars remain. And somewhere, beneath layers of earth and time, Harvey's echo might still be buried. Clara's story is a mirror to society's blind spots, about safety, about the silence around the missing, and about the dangers that exist in plain sight. 1. Never ignore the isolated. People who live off-grid often fall through the cracks, mentally, socially, and criminally. We must improve mental health interventions, check-ins, and rural law enforcement visibility. Harvey's warning signs were visible, but never acted on fully. 2. Disappearances deserve urgency. Clara's signal was missed. In many missing persons cases, the first 48 hours are critical. We must treat every signal, every lead, no matter how small, as potentially life-saving. 3. Mapping forgotten places matters. Land records often don't track abandoned shelters, survivalist bunkers, or hand-dug tunnels. This story proves the importance of modern topographic mapping and public transparency around land use history. 4. Community awareness saves lives. Clara's neighbors didn't know about Harvey's past. Better communication between counties and communities could have flagged the threat earlier. 5. Closure doesn't end the story. Even when answers come, grief remains. Clara's story teaches us that true healing includes telling the truth, honoring the lost, and refusing to let silence win. Some stories end in headlines, some end in graves, and some still wait in the dry breath of the wind for someone to keep listening. If you need second part of this video, then comment please. I need second part of this video. For now, subscribe and watch this short video.